again, thank you for your continued support of USC Aiken Athletics, the Peachville Conference, and the positive game environment that is the NCAA Division II. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Convocation Center on the campus of the University of South Carolina in Aiken for tonight's women's basketball game featuring the visiting Claflin Panthers and your USC Aiken Pacers. Before we introduce the starting lineups, we ask you to please rise as we honor America and those who defend their freedom both at home and abroad with the playing of our national anthem. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineup for the Claflin University Panthers. A 5'2" sophomore guard from Barnwell, South Carolina, wearing number 21, Malia Williams. A 5'8" sophomore guard from Columbia, South Carolina, wearing number 0, Lauren Scott. A 5'9" sophomore guard from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, wearing number 1, Nia Morris. A 5'10" senior forward from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, number 5, Janelle Horton. And a 6-foot senior center from Danville, Virginia, wearing number 44, Brianna Bryce. The head coach of the Panthers is Terrence Jenkins, the assistant coach, Michael Bland. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineup for your USC Aiken Pacers. She's a 5'10" sophomore guard. She's from Haleyville, Missouri. And she wears number 10, Meek Gentry Worley. A 5'7" freshman guard from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, wearing number 2, Brianna Gustav. A 5'11" sophomore forward from Brentwood, Tennessee, number 23, Delaney Drusho. A 5'11" sophomore forward, also from Brentwood, Tennessee, wearing number 12, Emily Drusho. And a 6-foot freshman forward from Fayetteville, Tennessee, wearing number 41, Annalise Malone. The head coach of the Pacers, Brittany Guy, or Mark Miller, and assistant coach is Brittany Guy.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the USC Aiken Convocation Center for today's women's basketball matchup featuring the visiting Claflin Panthers and the USC Aiken Pacers. I'm Marcus Johnson. Thank you for joining us for today's action. Pacers get the ball on the opening tip. We are underway. Pacers coming into tonight's game with a 2-3 record, 2-2 at home, as they work it around the arc. It's Delaney Truschel going for three, and Delaney Truschel opens the scoring with a three-point basket. Again, Pacers 2-3 with a 2-2 home record. Claflin, on the other hand, perfect 3-0 to start off the season, including a 2-0 mark on the road. Panthers working it in the offensive zone. Malia Williams passes it. Long three-point try here for Lauren Scott. Off the iron and out. Pacers pick up the rebound. It's Brianna Gustav to Gentry Worley. Worley puts one up for two. That one missed everything and ends up in the waiting hands of the Panther defense. Brianna Price coming up with the rebound. Malia Williams starts off the play. Gives it to Scott. Janelle Horton surveys the field, likes to pass it off to Williams. Back to Scott, over to the far side in front of the Pacer bench. It's Nia Morris. In the hands of Scott again, bounces it to Horton. Into the paint, here's the shot from just outside the paint, a bit short. And Pacers pick up the rebound. Ooh! Backwards pass there from Emily Truschel, almost picked off by Claflin. Gustav goes for the layup, that one denied, and knocked out of bounds. It'll be Pacer basketball. Defense there by Claflin. Gustav picks up the inbound pass. Emily Truschel over to Worley in the corner. Doesn't have an opening, goes for the layup and knocks it down for a pair. Claflin back on the attack. It's Nia Morris. Hands it off to Scott. Scott thought she had a lane, passes it over to Williams. Williams steps back into the corner. Here's the shot for three. And Nia Morris is trying no good. Rebound grab, though, by Claflin. It's Scott again, driving to the basket. And she made the basket, however, the foul occurred on the floor. And foul going against Delaney Truschel, first foul of the contest. Claflin gets a 20-second shot clock back. Play back underway. Morris to Williams. Williams for three. Off the bank, off the rim, and out. Rebound grab by Morris. Claflin will get another chance at it. It's Morris again. Long three. Not enough behind it as Gustav comes up with the rebound. Emily Truschel fumbles the pass. And it'll be a turnover on the Pacers. Williams bringing it up the floor. Now it's Scott. Williams again thought about it. Gives it to Scott. Scott for three from the corner. And again, no dice as the Pacers come up with the rebound. Gentry Worley up the floor. Bounces it in for Emily Truschel from the paint. And after a quick hop off the back of the rim, it drops in for two. And a timeout taken by the Claflin bench. It's 7-0 USC Aiken, just under 3 minutes into the first. And welcome back. Action back underway. 7 minutes remaining in the first. Claflin with the ball. Pacers up 7-0 over the Panthers. Morris. Now it's Janelle Horton. Horton, long pass. And nobody there on the quick touch. Lauren Scott ended up crashing towards the basket. And Morris thought she was hanging out in the corner, so turnover on Claflin, Pacer basketball. Long pass in for Gustav. Into the hands of Annalise Malone. Worley looking for a lane. Has to pull back as she is pressured hard by Williams. Plenty of time, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Gustav to Emily Truschel. Emily Truschel fakes her shot. Got the defense to bite. Over for Malone for three. Just a bit short. Rebound is grabbed by Horton. Claflin on the charge. It's Morris. Back for Scott into the corner. It's Horton. Horton will try, and Horton knocks one down for two. That'll get Claflin on the board. Ooh, good move there by Gustav. A little short on the layup, though, and Claflin picks up the board. Williams, a nice bounce in for Horton. Horton kicks it on out. Here's a try for Scott for three off the back of the rim. Rebound, battled for, grabbed by Claflin. Ooh, a nifty little bounce pass, and up and off the glass and in is Brianna Price. Pacers, it's Emily Truschel. From the field, no good. Rebound is grabbed again by Claflin. It's Williams looking to go coast to coast, instead gives it to Scott. Scott's pass off the underside of the basket and right to Delaney Truschel. Right place, right time for number 23 in white. Gustav doesn't have an option. And now it's Worley. Worley back to Delaney Truschel. Into the paint for Emily Truschel. That one is denied. Grabbed again by Emily Truschel. Bounce for Worley with less than 10 on the shot clock for the layup. And Gentry Worley knocks it in. Good defense here by Claflin, even though Pacers converted on that possession. A lot of pressure here from Claflin, not giving the Pacers a lot of chance to think. As Lauren Scott back to Williams. Williams at the top of the arc, looking to drive into the basket. Doesn't have an open lane, pulls back. Her pass blocked and knocked out of bounds by Delaney Truschel. And we have a pair of subs for the Pacers. Haley Unger and Marta Rivera coming in for Gustav and Delaney Truschel. Quick trigger. And rebound grabbed again by Morris, who's able to get it in on the second effort. Claflin keeping this one close now. 9-6 the score with about 4 minutes to go in the first. Good passing here by the Pacers. It's Worley to the basket, and it is knocked out of her hands. And they'll say Pacer basketball. Quick pass in for Rivera, and she knocks it in. Right off the inbound pass, Marta Rivera waiting under the basket. Picks up her first points of the evening. Scott, Morris, now Williams. Over into the corner, back to Williams again. Scott, it's back to Morris, and Morris knocks one down for three. And it's a two-point game, 11-9, full court press in effect for Claflin. Malone picks up the pass across half court. It'll give the Pacers time to set up. Unger to Truschel. Truschel fakes a pass. Gives it to Rivera. Bounced in for Emily Truschel again. Truschel tries a spin move, tries a shot. And that was going nowhere fast as she was double-teamed the whole way. Pacers will retain possession with a 9-second clock. Rivera out outside the arc. Unger 5 seconds on the shot clock. Drive into the basket, puts her shot up, and just couldn't get it to go. Rebound grabbed by Rivera, though. Fresh shot clock for the Pacers. Emily Truschel for three, and she nails it.
3-point basket, Emily Truschel.
Much better outcome than a layup, a 3-point basket by Emily Truschel. Williams into the corner again. Out for Scott. This one almost intercepted by Emily Truschel. 3-point try, no good. Rebound, grabbed by Rivera. Haley Unger will bring it up the floor. Rivera passes it. Oh, tries to pass it in for Emily Truschel in the paint. A little too hard as it went right through her hands. Delaney Truschel returning to the action as Gentry Worley heads to the bench. Claflin taking over with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first. Horton tries to drive in. Pacers converge on her. Here gets a shot off and anyway. Oh, is it stolen away? And we've got a jump ball. Correction, we have a timeout called by Claflin. A quick steal there by the Panthers. And with 2:07 remaining in the first, it's 14-9 Pacers, but Claflin has the ball. Back from the 30-second timeout, Claflin with a quick steal to regain possession as they trail the Pacers by 5. Horton into the hands of Scott to Williams, back over to Morris. Try for a long two by Horton, no good. Pacers on the rebound. Delaney Truschel. Ungers surveying the field. Hands it off to Delaney Truschel, over all the way now to Emily Truschel. Back for Unger. Unger thought about it, tried to drive in, now she pulls back. Pass in for Rivera under the basket, and Rivera kisses it off the glass for two.
Marta Rivera.
Claflin's turn to counterattack. Horton. Into the corner now, it's Scott. Scott able to draw a foul. Delaney Truschel kind of reached in there. Second foul of the game for her and for the team. Pair of subs here for a couple of subs here for Claflin. Janelle Sample and Destiny Coleman have checked in for the Panthers as Gustav returns to action for the Pacers. Into the paint, it's Coleman trying to get on the board quick. No good as the rebound is grabbed by Gustav. Unger to Emily Truschel. Surprised she didn't try to fire there, nobody covering her. But instead, Annalise Malone will convert for two.
Less than a minute left in the quarter.
Final minute of play in the first. Claflin looking for a late basket here. Into the corner, it's Sample. Ooh, nice job by Rivera to keep the ball in play as the Pacers take over. Haley Unger. Annalise Malone now to Gustav. Emily Truschel picking up the pass. Rivera looking for three. A bit short. Gustav picks up the rebound, knocks it off her foot, and it was right to Rivera. Malone driving to the basket. That one no good. Foul on the play. Foul going against Janelle Horton. Right after they picked up the rebound. Oh no, actually they're gonna say it was a late foul, a late call on the shot. So Malone at the line for two. The Pacers make a pair of substitutions with 14 seconds left in the quarter. Yeah, Jasmine Fairchild out there for the Pacers. Also waiting to come in is Rhiannon Sauer. First try by Malone is good. Pushes the score to 19-9. And after a little bit of bouncing, Malone comes away 2 for 2 on the trip. Now Sauer checks into the match. Claflin with 14.1 seconds left, a chance to come on down and try to get a last-second basket. It's Scott, pressured by Unger. 5 seconds left on the game clock. Coleman in for Sample. From the corner, it's Scott for 3, and at the buzzer, Scott knocks down a 3 to cut the lead down to 8. 20-12 is your score after 1 quarter of play. Pacers leading the Panthers. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a bit. And welcome back. Second quarter of action about to get underway. Gentry Worley back into the game for the Pacers. Claflin setting out the same 5 that they ended the first quarter with. As a team, Pacers shooting 8 of 14 from the field, including 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. Claflin in that first quarter of play was 5 of 16. However, they also made 2 free throws, however, on 8 tries. Claflin trying to strike first in the quarter, no good on the attempt, and Gustav comes up with the rebound. Unger thought about it for a moment. Now she drives into the basket, puts a shot up. Ooh, a little too much behind it. Malone comes up with the rebound. It's Worley, back to Unger again. No reset on the shot clock though, so 10 seconds on it. Gustav with plenty of time, knocks down another 3. Nobody covering her, and that gave Gustav plenty of time to set up the shot. Get the Pacer lead back to double digits. Ooh, pass is tipped, but kept in play by Sample. Now Sample kicks it up for Morris. Morris looking for a three-pointer of her own and couldn't get it to go. Gustav picks up the rebound. Unger will bring it up for the Pacers. Emily Truschel back to Unger again. Gustav taking the pass from her. Tries to pass it on back for Unger, but it's punted into the air. And it'll stay Pacer ball. They'll inbound it right in front of the Claflin bench. Gentry Worley doesn't have a lane, so she gives it to Unger. And a traveling call on Haley Unger. That'll be a turnover on the Pacers. Claflin takes over. Only the 7th turnover of the game so far as both teams, whereas Claflin has 3, Pacers have 4. On pass for Scott, push it into the corner. Shot by Sample, wouldn't go. Rebound grab though, under the basket by Claflin. Second effort, also no good, as Horton just missed her shot. Pacers No, Claflin will retain possession, as they say. A Pacer touched it before it went out. Ooh, nice inbound pass to Horton. Horton dancing around in the paint, puts a shot up, no good. Gets her own rebound, however, and will kick it out to the top of the key. Back into the paint for Horton. Ooh, nice little pass and a nice score by Destiny Coleman. Able to get around the coverage and get open and then be able to pull off a quick shot. Unger starts the attack for the Pacers. Gets a screen, gives it to Gustav. Gustav into the paint, but a foul called before she can go for the shot. Foul called on Lauren Scott as we have a sub here for Claflin. Your Shelton coming into the game for the Panthers. Fresh 20-second shot clock for the Pacers. Gustav to Worley, back out for Unger. Worley looking for three, off the bank, no good. Gustav grabs the rebound and a foul called on the play. That's going against Morris. Emily Truschel from the charity stripe, and she knocks it down.
Emily Truschel.
(25-14), Pacers up by 11 on Claflin with under 7 to play in the half. It's Scott. Scott again with it. Bounces it in for Sample. Into the paint. Here's the try by Coleman. That one wouldn't go. Rebound grab by Gentry Worley. Worley with speed up the floor into the corner. Here's a three-point try. And knocking it down is Haley Unger. Another big three-point play there by the Pacers. Stretching the lead now to 14. Pass into the paint to Sample. She tried to bounce it in to Shelton and ended up hitting the Pacer defense instead. Both teams making some changes as Claflin will give it to Morgan Kelson to inbound the ball. Sample picks up the pass, steps back, goes for three, and overshoots the basket and gets it right to Emily Truschel. Madison Williams of the Pacers will bring it up. In for Gustav. Gustav gets a screen, but it's not much help. Drives to the basket anyway and draws a foul on the shot. So we will see Brianna Gustav at the line for two.
Foul was on number 33, Destiny Coleman.
Destiny Coleman getting tabbed for the foul.
Team's third at the line shooting two will be number 2, Brianna Gustav.
And Gustav's first try is good, 29-14. And Gustav pushes the Pacers score to 30 with a 2-for-2 trip to the line. Haley Unger returns to action, and Gustav will go take a breather. Claflin will bring the ball up with Lauren Scott. Pacers giving them the opportunity to bring it up slowly as Sample kicks it back out for Scott. Pass a little bit off the mark, so Claflin will have to reset. Sample on the top of the key. Tries to drive on in and gets called for a travel as she tried a no-look pass, but she took an extra step in the process. Claflin pulling back as well. First quarter, it was all full court press. This quarter, they seem to let the Pacers set things up in the offensive zone. Unger Ooh, nice little spin move by Unger. Goes to the basket and finishes it off with a beautiful layup. Haley Unger had the defense eating out of the palm of her hand on that play. Try from Sample wouldn't go, and it's grabbed by Unger. Unger pulls up another spin move. This time it doesn't work as well, but she gets a pass off to Williams. Madison Williams' shot would not go. Rebound grab by Kelson. And Kelson now gets tripped up on the play, loses possession, loose ball. Madison Williams scoops it up. Williams with a pass for Emily Truschel, a bit behind her. Truschel recovers and finishes it off. Even with the bad pass, Emily Truschel had enough time to grab the ball, come around, and score. And the Pacer lead is now 20. Scott tries to drive through, but ends up drawing a foul on Annalise Malone instead. And we have a timeout coming up. 4:05 remaining in the half. It is all USC Aiken over Claflin, 34-14. We'll be back in about a minute. Back from the break. Pacers leading Claflin by 20 with just a little over 4 minutes remaining here in the first half. Claflin with the ball out of the timeout, though. It's Kelson after the foul from Malone. It's Coleman. Coleman trying to drive in, and she's rewarded with a two-point basket for her effort. He's a height, trying to apply some solo pressure here as she's checked into the game. Emily Truschel tries to bounce it for Williams, goes off her toe, and it'll go all the way to the Pacers coach, Mark Miller. It'll be a turnover on USC Aiken. Claflin takes over in the offensive end. Lauren Scott in the corner, weighing her options, tries to bounce a pass into the paint, deflected to Coleman, and Coleman, who was not the intended target, ends up coming away with the ball and coming away with a basket. Williams able to get it across half court. Emily Truschel for Rivera. 10 seconds on the shot clock as Unger drives to the basket, tries a shot, and it is blocked. Claflin standing tall in the paint. Coleman with a bounce to Scott. Into the corner now, it's Kelson. Scott, the pass intended for Scott, picked off by Truschel. Gives it to Williams. Williams tries her shot block, picks up her own rebound, and will draw a foul on the second effort. Lauren Scott getting called for the foul. And Madison Williams will go to the line for two. Williams knocks down her first try, 35-18. And Williams is a perfect 4 for 4 on the season as she knocks down both of her attempts. Kelson, or actually now it's Coleman. For Morris, back to Coleman again. In for height, back to Coleman. Coleman trying for a long two. That one around the rim, no good. Rebound grabbed by Kelson. Kelson battling with Emily Truschel. And we get a foul called on the play, and the officials are going to come together to discuss just who the foul was on. Instead of discussing who the foul was on, they were discussing was the foul on the shot or on the floor, and they're going to say on the shot as Morgan Kelson goes to the line. But before that, we're going to take a timeout while the officials review the play on the instant replay. Everything is upheld after the trip to the replay booth. Foul was on Emily Truschel on the play as Kelson, her first try, no good. Score stays at 36-18. Second try is good, 36-19. Pacers take over. Williams across half court. Worley kicks it out to Unger. Unger with a spin move gives it to Emily Truschel. Emily Truschel sidesteps, goes up, and drops it in. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the half. Morris getting a screen, looking to drive to the basket, takes her shot from the field and knocks it down for two. Williams under pressure here. Gets it across the line just in time. Emily Truschel. To Gentry Worley. Worley. Pass intended for Malone, off her fingertips and out of bounds. It'll be Claflin ball on the turnover. Kristen Hubbard checking into the game for Claflin with $1:13 remaining in the second. Kelson gets a clean pass off. Now it's Morris driving to the basket, runs into Malone, and Malone standing tall as Morris couldn't handle the dribbling. Pacers take over. Worley moving it on up. Madison Williams takes the ball, just killing some time on the clock. Emily Truschel in for Malone, and Malone reaches up, drops it down, and it's 40-21 USC Aiken. Into the corner, Coleman. Back on out for Kelson. Tries to get a pass to to Morris. And that one goes off a Pacer body and out of bounds. It'll stay Claflin ball with 16 seconds on the shot clock, 23.9 on the game clock. Janelle Horton returning to the action for Claflin. And Horton with it now. Tries a spin move, hands it on off to Shelton. Shelton driving to the basket, no good. Rebound, second effort is good by Destiny Coleman. Holman on the putback as Unger moves it on up with a few seconds left on the game clock. Worley trying for a long three, and that one just goes off the top of the glass. The Pacers with a comfortable 17-point lead. They lead Claflin 40-23 as we head into halftime. We'll take a few minutes to reset, and then we'll be back with the first half stats, and following that, the second half of action. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. About a minute and a half before the second half gets underway. We'll take a look at some of the stats from the first half of action between USC Aiken and Claflin. Score 40-23 in favor of the Pacers. Pacers are 15-26 from the field, good for 57.7%. Claflin, 10 of 31, they're 32.3% on baskets from the field. Claflin, 2 of 10 from beyond the arc, while the Pacers are 4 of 7 from beyond the three-point line. Pacers also a perfect 6 for 6 from the charity stripe, but Claflin's only had one trip, and they converted 1 of the 2. In terms of rebounds, Pacers out-rebounding Claflin 18-14 overall. And in the turnover margin, it's 7 turnovers for Claflin and 6 for USC Aiken. The leading scorer for the Pacers is Emily Truschel with 11 points, followed by Annalise Malone 6, and Brianna Gustav and Haley Unger each have 5 to round out the top 3. For Claflin, it's Destiny Coleman with 8 points to lead the scoring, and Nia Morris following suit with 7, and Lauren Scott has 3. In the rebound game, it is Brianna Gustav leading the way for the Pacers. She has 5 rebounds. And Janelle Horton leads Claflin with 5 of her own. So double-double watch for Brianna Gustav, on pace to just manage to hit that double-double mark. Emily Truschel already there in terms of points, has 4 rebounds. We'll see if she can get a few more boards to get to that double-double mark as well. Pacers will start off with the ball as we get the second half underway. Gentry Worley starting things off for the Pacers. Gustav gets a nice block there from Worley, takes her shot and knocks it down. Gustav drawing the foul and making the basket. Brianna Price getting called for the foul for Claflin as Gustav heads to the line to try to complete the three-point play. And she does just that as it went round the rim and in. Pacers lead up to 20. In the corner, it's Morris. Back up to Scott. Giving the ball to Williams. Back in the corner, Morris going to try for 3, and that one no good. Rebound, though, grabbed by Claflin. Morris tried to drive in, got a quick pass on off instead. Scott will drive to the basket and draw the foul on the shot. We'll see Lauren Scott head to the line for 2.
Fouls on number 12 of the Pacers, Emily Truschel. That's her second. It's the team's first this quarter. At the line shooting 2.
Truschel called on the foul, her second foul of the game. Scott's first try is no good. Second try for Scott manages to go through, 43-24. Annalise Malone back to Gentry Worley. Worley flanked by Scott. Pulls back a little bit to slow up the pace. Gustav. Emily Truschel with it now. Emily Truschel tries to drive in, gets a pass off to Malone, and Malone's shot no good. Rebound. Still is loose. And coming away with it is Lauren Scott after it changed hands about 2 or 3 times on the floor. Try here for Brianna Price. Off the rim, no good. Rebound scooped up by Emily Truschel. Has to pull up as she had Price right on her, trying to cross half court. Gustav trying to bob and weave through the defense, ends up drawing a foul as a result.
Foul on number 21, Malia Williams.
Malia Williams called for the foul.
Second this quarter.
Another foul called on the inbound pass. This one going against Price. Lane Truschel will try to inbound it again. Out for Worley. Into the paint for Malone. Kicks it on out to the arc. At the top of the arc, it's Emily Truschel, who knocks it down for three.
Basket, Emily Truschel.
14 points on the evening for Emily Truschel. Williams surveying the field, gets it to Scott. Now it's into the corner for Morris. Thought about driving in, kicks it back out to Williams. Williams immediately smothered up by Gustav. Gets a nice pass into the paint for Horton. Horton's shot no good. Rebound. And found his way to Morris again, but it's stolen away. Gustav coming away with the loose ball. Goes up and, can't get it to drop in. Picks up the rebound on an assist from Worley. Out for Delaney Truschel for three. And Delaney Truschel. Delaney Truschel knocking it in from three. 49-24 now the score. Lauren Scott trying to answer with a three of her own. Can't get it to go. And Gustav picks up another rebound. Delaney Truschel passes in for Malone. Unchecked under the basket. And reaches up and drops it in. Into the paint, Price trying to get a shot off, does so, but it would not go. It just bounced around the rim and refused to drop. Emily Truschel to Worley. Worley with plenty of time, all off the back of the rim and out. Rebound grabbed by Janelle Horton. Horton gets a nice bounce pass off. Good defense by the Pacers, even better job by Scott to keep that in bounds, but to no avail as Gentry Worley comes away with the loose ball. Gustav weaves through traffic, gets the pass off to Worley. Her shot no good. Worley picks up her own rebound. Worley stepping back a little bit. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Worley trying to make her move. Drives in and loses the ball. And they're going to say it went off of Worley's knee. Claflin basketball. And both teams making a shift change here. Williams will start things off with a pass. Coleman to Scott. Scott looking around, gives it back to Williams, back to Scott again, into the paint. This one broken up and stolen away. Emily Truschel with the steal. Nice pass for Gustav. Gustav to set up, comes up a little short on the shot, gets her own rebound. Can't get it to go on the second effort. Neither can Delaney Truschel on the putback try. And a foul called on Delaney Truschel. Her third foul of the game.
Substituting in for the Pacers, number 15, Madison Williams.
Scott and Morris playing a little passing game here. Now Williams gets in on it. Tries to drive on in, gives it back to Morris. Back out to Scott. Coleman, her pass broken up, but a foul called on the play, and this one going against the Pacers. Rivera getting called for the foul. And we're going to have Gentry Worley sub in for Delaney Truschel, but not before we reach the 5-minute mark and a full media timeout on the floor. We'll be back in 60 seconds. welcome back from the media timeout. Marcus Johnson here again. Thank you for joining us for USC Aiken women's basketball as the Pacers take on the Panthers of Claflin. Up 51-24, Claflin with the ball, however. It's Destiny Coleman. Back into the hands of Morris. Morris trying for a long two, comes up short. Rebound, though, grabbed by Williams. Williams just running away from the defense, trying to reset. Now she drives in. Nice little pass here. Coleman goes up and off the glass and in for two.
Basket by number 33, Destiny Coleman.
Williams gets it across and into the offensive zone. Haley Unger. Little spin move, goes up, takes the shot, but draws the foul instead. And we'll have a trip to the line for Haley Unger. First trip to the line for Unger today. Unger's first try is good. And Unger, 2 for 2 on the trip, remains perfect for the season at 8 for 8. Aaliyah Williams starts it off. Morris to Scott. Scott driving in from the corner. Nice pass. And a foul drawn on the play. Shelton didn't have a good angle to get the shot off, but she knew she could and draw the foul. And now she will head to the line. Foul was against Rivera of the Pacers. And first try for Shelton is good, 53-27. Two for 2 on the trip. Pacer lead now is 53-28. Full court press here. Worley will bring it up. Emily Trusha with the ball. Gives it to Unger. Back for Worley. And Worley called for a travel. Yes, she tried to fake and move. The hands of Williams for Claflin. Morris. Now it's Shelton. Morris again. Tries to drive in, pulls up, takes a shot, comes up short, and a foul on the floor as the rebound was grabbed by the Panthers. Foul going against Emily Truschel. That's her third of the game. Shelton's first try from the line is good. Second try is good as well. That'll move Claflin into the 30 range for points. Both teams making shift changes as well. Pass to Unger, trying to get it to Worley. Claflin not giving him a lot of room here, and now Worley moving it up the floor. Back for Williams. Williams again has it. Rivera in the corner. Her pass stolen away by Shelton. Now it's Claflin's turn to move it on up. Williams. Pulled up, took the shot, rebound. Is directed back to Williams as Morris got a hand on it. Ball given to Hubbard. Williams with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Driving to the basket, shoots a shot up and puts it in. And we We get a timeout called on the floor. Is Claflin on a bit of a run here? Pacers still up 53-32. But momentum seems to be all orange right now as we head to the timeout. We'll be back in 60 seconds after the media timeout. Back from the break. Pacers calling the timeout, which set up that break. As Gentry Worley will inbound it to Williams. It's Worley again. Able to move it up the floor. Rivera trying to direct traffic as she drives to the basket. Draws the foul. And they are going to say she got the shot off before the foul.
The foul was on number 33, Destiny Coleman, the second. The team's Rivera at the line for the three-point play.
Rivera heads to the line to try to close out the three-point play. And she does so with a perfect arc on her shot. Williams and Hubbard, a little back and forth action. Finally, it's given to Shelton. Back to Williams again. Morris trying to drive on in. 3 seconds on the shot clock, takes the shot. And that one just beats the buzzer, but no good as Rivera comes up with the rebound. In for Malone. Malone trying to find a route under the basket. And a foul called on the play. It's going to go against Coleman of Claflin.
Foul was on number 33, Destiny Coleman. That's her third.
And Annalise Malone is going to head to the line.
And at the line, shooting two, Annalise Malone.
First try for Malone is good. And another eventful trip to the charity stripe as Malone comes away 2 for 2. Williams, no look pass here to Morris. Over for Hubbard, into the paint, here's the shot, and just getting it to go is Shelton. Foul called on the play as Hubbard, a little aggressive there with Haley Unger.
That's her first substituting as number 13 for Claflin Morgan Kelson, and at the line to shoot two for the Pacers, Haley Unger.
Haley Unger will go to the line to shoot with 1:07 remaining in the third. Unger drops her first try in. Score now 59-34 Pacers. And another good trip to the line. Unger 2 for 2. 60-34 now, the Pacers leading by 26. Morris's pass broken up, but Kelson able to come back to get it. Williams with it, gets a screen. Gives it back to Hubbard. Williams and Hubbard back and forth. Pass into the paint. And right there was Shelton under the basket, who drops it in for 2. Haley Unger will move it up for the Pacers. 32 seconds left on the clock. Gustav, dancing around, drives into the paint, passes it off to Rivera. Rivera's shot, a little too long as it went off the rim and out. Panthers on the rebound, they'll move on into the attacking end. Williams picks up the pass. Into the corner with 1 second left, and at the buzzer, Niall Morris dropping in a three-pointer. Pacers still lead at 60-39 over the Panthers of Claflin. We'll take about a minute or two break and be back with the fourth and final quarter of action between USC Aiken and Claflin. And we are back. Fourth quarter of action getting underway between the Pacers and the Panthers. USC Aiken up 60-39 over Claflin. As the ladies in orange will get the ball to start things off. If Brianna Gustav has anything to say about it. Gustav with the steal and score to open up the fourth. Heads up read there by Brianna Gustav. Ooh, a little mishandle there. Claflin able to recover in time as Williams picked up the loose ball. And Williams running on into Malone. They're going to call a foul on Annalise Malone, however.
Fouls on the Pacers, number 41, Annalise Malone, her second, the team's first this quarter. And at the line, Malia Williams.
Well, Williams will head to the line to shoot. And first try is good. Cuts the Pacer lead down to 22. Two for two on the trip, 62-41. Delaney Truschel, not a lot of options, finally gets it off to Malone. Claflin, full court press here, 5 seconds to get it across half court. Unger just gets it across. Now drives to the basket and is blocked on the play, but a foul called. I think this is going to go against Shelton. That is indeed the case. So Unger will head to the line. And that's the first free throw the Pacers have missed, as Unger couldn't get it to drop in. But she gets her second effort in, or second try in. That gets her into double digits in scoring. She has 10 points so far. Right now, Pacers with 4 players on the floor who are in double digits in scoring. Gustav, Unger, Emily Truschel, and Malone, all in double-digit scoring. And here's a three-point try from Morris. Also has double digits in scoring for Claflin with 10. Couldn't get it to go, however, as Unger comes up with the rebound. In for Delaney Truschel. Gustav, took her eye off the ball twice, and it's stolen away by Williams. Williams down to the other end, and she's got a steal and score. One of those little freshman miscues that you're bound to see from even the best of players, as Gustav with a chance to make up for it for three, and she does. Gustav from the corner drops in a three, more than making up for the turnover. Into the paint, nice pass in for Morris. Shot goes up, but doesn't go in as Malone picks up the rebound and a foul called on the play.
Foul was on number 12, yours Shelton. Her second, the team second this quarter. Substituting in for Claflin, number 0, Laurie Scott, and number 5, Janelle Horton.
Unger is being watched by Scott. Gets it into the offensive zone. Gustav back to Unger again. Unger driving into the paint, gets a shot off. Rebound grabbed by Malone. Second effort, no good. Third try, and it's a foul, as Malone couldn't get it to drop on her second try, but does indeed draw the foul. Malone can't get her first try to go. Score stays at 66-43. Good on the second effort, though, 67-43. Offensive foul called on Morgan Kelson, who tried to drive in and pull up. Ended up knocking down a defender in the process. Stolen away on the inbound pass, however. Horton stole the ball away but couldn't get the ball to go through. And the Pacers come away unscathed on that turnover. Emily Truschel looking for a lane. Foul called before she can really take off. This one going against Horton. And that will send Emily Truschel to the line for two. Emily Truschel gets her first one to go on in. Leading scorer for the Pacers coming into today's game. Averaging 14 points per game and had 73 points overall as she knocks in both of her tries. And another turnover for Claflin. Lauren Scott getting called for the turnover. Hand off for Delaney Truschel. Drives to the basket, shot goes up but doesn't go in. Rebound grabbed by Shelton, but a foul called, I believe, on the Pacers. It's going to go against Delaney Truschel, her fourth foul of the game. I expect to see her take a break as, indeed, Delaney Truschel heads off. Madison Williams steps back out. Destiny Coleman will come in for Claflin, taking over for Kelson. Scott for Coleman. At the top of the arc, tries to move in, kicks it back out for Scott. Into the hands now of Hubbard. Hubbard driving to the basket. And an offensive foul called on Kristen Hubbard. Williams will move it up for the Pacers. As Scott right on her. Haley Unger now tries to pass it into the paint. That one's broken up and stolen by Coleman. Hand off here to Scott. Scott pulls up, takes a shot for three, and drains it from range. Gustav fights her way into the paint. Gets it from Malone. Malone pulls up, takes her shot, can't get it to go. And the rebound grabbed by Claflin's Coleman. Into the corner, unchecked is Scott, but she just misfired her shot. Rebound grab, though. That was Horton on the rebound, couldn't get it to go on the putback. And the Pacers coming away with it now. Long shot, and Coleman knocks in another three. And by Gustav knocks in a three. Now she and Emily Truschel are tied for the most points for the squad at 16. This is preparing to make a full shift change. Three-point try here for Claflin, and Horton's try just a bit short. Unger comes up with the rebound. Unger fakes her pass, takes a shot from the paint, and no good. Rebound grabbed by Horton. Long pass, nice pass. Shot goes up and shot goes in. Lauren Scott, her 9th point of the day, one away from getting to double digits. And a timeout taken by the Pacer bench. As Pacers will have possession coming out of the break. They look to make a full shift change as well. We'll take a break and be back in 60 seconds. Back from the media timeout, Pacers with a full shift change. Getting some players out there that don't normally see action. This pass is broken up and stolen away by Hubbard. Kristen Hubbard. Scott looking for three. Her shot no good. Unger gets the rebound. Madison Williams in for Olivia Ellis. Ellis passes it back out for Unger. Williams at the top of the arc. Ellis unchecked, going for three. And one comes up short. Rebound, grabbed by Ellis, and she draws the foul on the play. And Olivia Ellis will head to the line for two.
The foul was on number 13, Morgan Kelson. That's her third. And at the line shooting two, it's number 0.
First try from Ellis is no good. And Ellis' second try is good. Scoring her first point of the contest. In from the corner, and a foul called here. This is going to go against Rhiannon Soller.
Foul was on the Pacers number 21, Rhiannon Soller. And that's her first. It's the team's third this quarter.
Pacers will make another substitution here as
Number 22, Mary Carty.
Mary Carty comes into the game.
Kelson at the charity stripe.
Kelson will go to the line for two for Claflin. And she knocks in her first one. 73-49. 2 for 2 on the trip. Pace the lead now 23. Addison Williams putting on a burst of speed, going all the way on in. Good passing here. Here's Carty for three. That one just a bit short. Rebound grabbed by Hubbard. Hubbard's pass. Bit sloppy, but kept in play. Scott looking for a three-point ball. No good. Rebound and put back. I believe that was Horton. Oh, correction. No, it was Kelson on the putback. Williams, nice little bounce pass here for Ellis. Ellis looking for three, and Ellis puts it in from range.
Ellis.
3-point try from Scott is good from the corner. Ooh, nice little pass from Rivera to Williams. Able to beat the coverage. Ellis gets called for a travel as she took a hop step before dribbling.
Substituting for Claflin is number 10,
Shari Lewis is going to come into the game for Claflin as Yasmin Fairchild checks in for the Pacers. Minute 46 remaining in the game. Pacers with a comfortable lead here. As Kelson drives to the basket, but ends up fouled in the process. Archery getting called on the foul. And the Pacers will bring in Mackenzie Lott. Kelson at the line here. She knocks in her first try, 76-56. And another 2-for-2 trip for Kelson. Ellis just picks up the inbound pass. Full court press from Claflin. As this one is knocked out of bounds, it'll stay Pacer ball, but only 24 seconds. 4 seconds to get it across. Half court. Pacers just get it across. This is stolen away, though, by Claflin, and a foul against Yasmin Fairchild of the Pacers. That will send Janelle Horton to the line. And Horton puts down the first one. And Horton's 2 for 2 on the trip. Ellis under pressure. Claflin got a foot on the ball, so Pacers will keep possession. Inbound pass goes to Lott. Archery. Pass intercepted by Horton. Horton driving down, and Horton will go coast to coast to knock one in for 2. A minute 8 remaining as the Pacers take a timeout. 76-61. Pacers still with a commanding lead, but Claflin has chipped away at it lately. We'll take a short break, be right back. We're back from the timeout. Pace is able to get it all the way down to the other side. Oh, beautiful defense by Claflin's Lewis. And it's rewarded with another 2 points by Scott. Final minute of play here, or final 48 seconds of play, I should say. And Williams picks it up. Pacers now just burning clock. As it's stripped away again. It's Horton with the steal. Pass in for Scott. Scott has to pull back. Kicks it on out to Kelson. Back for Horton, and Horton's try no good. Second effort, couldn't go. Third try, also no good. Rebound, grabbed by Horton again, and we've got a jump ball with 20.6 remaining.
All basketball belongs to the Pacers.
And the jump ball goes the Pacer way, and that'll draw a timeout from Coach Mark Miller with 20.6 seconds remaining in the game, and the Pacers up 76-63. Timeout comes to a close. Action gets back underway. Cartree to inbound it. Gets it into Williams. Pacers can just eat away at the clock as shot clock has been turned off. Fairchild back to Williams again. And that looks like that's exactly what the Pacers are going to do. 4 seconds left on the clock. And Williams will just eat the rest of that time, and that will do it here from the Convocation Center. Pacers picking up the W, 76-63 over the Claflin Panthers. Well, Pacers improved to 3-3 on the year, while Claflin picks up their first loss of the season, moving to 3-1 overall. Well, it's not a long wait before we get to our next women's basketball match, as Wednesday at 5:30, the Pacers take on Catawba here at the Convocation Center, followed up by men's basketball taking on the Coker Cobras at 7:30 on that same day. But that will do it here from USC Aiken. And for all the live stats, be sure to head over to PacerSports.com to look at the stats from this game and every other game that you've seen this season. And be sure to keep an eye on social media for the post-game featuring head coach Mark Miller and whatever players he decides to bring with him. But I've been Marcus Johnson. Thank you for joining us this evening, and have a good one.